To speak about this further, we speak to Diego Da Rin, Haiti Analyst at the Crisis Group, joining us now from Mexico. Very good evening to you, and thank you so much for speaking to us, Diego.
Thank you for having me.
Let's just first start with the actual deployment itself. I'm thinking back to 2018, watching Kenya's President William Ruto partake in a conversation, and that was still very much at the asking stages, but he was very enthusiastic in lending a hand. But there were critics of the decision saying they don't see why Kenya should be taking up this challenge. What are your thoughts about initially the decision to take part in this deployment and your assessment of how that has panned out?
Well, it was extremely brave for Kenyan police officers to go to Haiti to help the Haitian security forces that are severely underfunded and under-equipped to tackle Haiti's most severe security threat that it has had in the past decades. The gangs have grown increasingly independent from the elites that created them and have been defying the authorities in an unprecedented way. They control most of the capital. They overthrown the government in 2004, and they have been trying to topple the government again since then. And the Kenyan officers helped the Haitian police to at least slow down the advance of the gangs in the capital and in other regions of the country where they are expanding their foothold. But the Kenyan-led mission never had sufficient funding to really implement the security strategy that it had devised to support the Haitian security forces. It was estimated that the mission should be funded by 600 million a year, but it just received a fraction of these funds, which made that it was enabled to establish all the forward operating bases, to have permanent presence in all the gang-controlled areas, as it hoped to had. So now we are transitioning to a new kind of mission with the authorization of a gang suppression force by the UN Security Council last September.
So please explain this change for me, and what makes it strategic. And I'm talking about the fact that Kenya was first at the center of this international security mission. Now they're scaling back. What has happened?
Well, the countries that were mostly the ones that planned the Kenyan-led mission, well, along with the Kenyan government, understood that the mission was not going very well because the main obstacle was the lack of funds. So the US and Panama proposed a new kind of mission to the Security Council last year that would overcome these obstacles to have sufficient funding. Now, most of the funds for the new mission will be channeled by the assessed contribution of the UN peacekeeping budget. This will make that this new mission will have more reliable funding. Another difference with the previous mission is that the Gang Suppression Force will be led by militaries. This will be mostly a military-led military operation and not a police-led mission. So it has a much more robust mandate, and it can also, contrary to the Kenyan-led mission, it is not only mandated to help the Haitian police to conduct Haitian police-led operations, but it can also mount operations independently from the Haitian police, because there are just a few hundred Haitian police officers that are skilled and equipped to go into combat against the gangs. So this will be a mission that will have more reliable funding, a more robust mandate, and much more personnel. The Kenyan-led mission never made it to 1,000 officers. The new mission is expected to have 5,500 officers on the ground by October this year.
But I guess what I'm trying to understand is the rationale. Why Kenya would send its police officers there. And as you say, that the change now is about deploying military officials. And one would have thought that's where the start point would have been. And also, yes, it's important to come to the aid of a country like Haiti that is overridden by crippling gangsterism. But why did Kenya see itself as intervening with its police force?
Well, the US approached several countries asking them to contribute personnel for the mission that they were proposing to help the Haitian security forces at least counter the gang offensives and weaken the gangs in Haiti. And Kenya was the country that at that moment was the only one who stepped forward to help in this endeavor in Haiti. The US also tried to convince Canadian officials to take the lead of the mission and other countries. But Kenya was perceived as a country that has contributed in several international security efforts in many international security operations, and that had special police units that were sufficiently skilled to tackle this security threat in Haiti. Kenyan officials also put forward that Haiti was seen by the African Union as a country that had cultural and historical ties to African countries, and that at a moment when no country was stepping forward to help Haiti in tackling the gang violence, Kenya was a country that was willing to do this.
Indeed, I mean, the Caribbean has a large number of African diaspora, those who obviously have left Africa unwillingly, who were stolen from their families, their land of birth, and enduring centuries of very cruel treatment. But what we're seeing now is the withdrawal of Kenya and the entry of Chad. I guess I'm still trying to grapple with the understanding of what is happening here. Is it a statement also on Kenya's leadership intervention, or is it simply that we're just saying, well, we've given you as much as we can in terms of our own internal resources, let somebody else pick up the slack?
Well, as I was saying earlier, the Kenyan-led mission was essentially a police force that was led by a police commander, a Kenyan police commander. This new mission has a mandate that enables the new force to be much more offensive than the previous one. So even if this will be carried out in legal terms as a law enforcement effort, this will be a military-led operation. And so the several contingents of Kenyan officers that were deployed in Haiti were, yes, of course, from special units, but essentially from the police. Most of the police officers, around 5,000 of the 5,500 that will be deployed under the new mission, will be military units. So the mission is changing in nature, and Kenya is, for that reason, essentially withdrawing its troops, because
No, I
the mission
understand that.
is.
I guess the point I'm asking is, does it speak to the sustainability of the approach that was undertaken in the first place, the realistic nature of trying to restore order given the previous shortfalls?
Well, it remains to be seen if the new mission, with the new financing framework that it has, will have sufficient support to make a difference on the ground. Because the problem right now is that the Haitian security forces, with an improved collaboration between several security bodies that are operating on the ground, have been able to make some successive operations against the gangs recently, but they don't have sufficient personnel to have a holding capacity in the territories that they would be able to regain, to recapture from the gangs. So even though the Haitian security forces are now able to strike more effectively than in the past, with new tactics that they are developing on the ground, they don't have this holding capacity. So the arrival of over 5,000 troops in support of the Haitian security forces should enable them to have a more serious a strategy to recapture permanently these territories from the gangs, and not only make incursions in the strongholds and withdraw because they don't have this holding capacity.
All right. Thank you so much for speaking to us. We're just looking at Kenya's deployment to Haiti. Diego Da Rin is a Haitian analyst at the crisis group, speaking to us from Mexico.